Alright guys, I'm doing Take On Me now. Alright. I really like this song, it sounds good. Mine in a way, I don't know what to mine, I'll mine this anyway. In this Minecraft day, so beautiful, further down. What's that I found? Mine diamonds. Mine diamonds. I'll mine them. So far got to. So easy to mine. With my Minecraft pickaxe and shovels, hopefully they stay in my Minecraft chests.
I feel like I'm gonna burp. If you're watching this video first, I recommend you watch this one. Link in the description. And yes, I'll be using Pro Safia's gameplay as well. Finally, after 4 years of its announcement, the Cuphead DLC is finally out, with more bosses, Swimming Heart of the Devil, and the King's Leap. Cuphead and Mugman are trying to bring Chalice back to life, but she is only a ghost. However, Saltbaker baked her a cookie, so when she eats it, she switches life with somebody else. If you don't know what that means, it means that if someone eats a cookie, they'll switch places with her. That's why they need all those ingredients in order to bring her to life. The legendary Chalice has an urgent message for you. Find me on the coast, Cups. The legendary Chalice bid me carry a message to you. She needs your help. A far-off isle. A mysterious discovery. The boat awaits. Let us depart. And this is where the game begins. What could legendary Chalice be looking for all the way out here? Gosh, Cuphead, I don't know. I hope she's okay. You sure are far from home. Jumpin' jelly beans! You boys made it! I have the most amazing news! And it all has to do with this here cookie. Take a bite and see for yourselves. It worked! It really worked! I'm alive again! But now I'm a ghost! What's going on here? Everything's gone topsy-turvy. Follow me, boys. I can explain everything. For ages, I've been trying to find a new way to escape the astral plane, but nothing worked. Until now, boys. Let me introduce you to Chef Saltbaker, the greatest chef in all the lands. Welcome, friends. Welcome to my bakery. Ah, Miss Chalice, I see my cookie has worked wonders on you. Oh, my stars! I'm a ghost again. Oh my, a finicky thing. That cookie, it tasted sweet, but the effect is brief. Fret not through, concerned little pups. I've come up with an amazing new recipe. One bite of this Wonder Tart, and you'll have complete control over the astral plane. This Wonder Tart could bring Chalice back to life, good? Now swap places or nothing? Indeed. Just one problem. The recipe requires exceptional ingredients held by the most fearsome of foes. Well, if the Wonder Tart is what it takes to bring Chalice back to life, then golly, we'll find those ingredients. Stay on your guard, intrepid Cups. Fetching those ingredients will be a test of wit and wills. But remember, like any good bake, heart and soul is the secret ingredient. One more thing, chaps. Remember to equip that nifty cookie charm in the menu if you want to battle as Miss Chalice. Let's decide not to skip the tutorial because this is one inkwell aisle. In there is based on the controls you use for Miss Chalice. You can parry by dashing, you can dodge roll, and double jump. That's basically the tutorial. Now on with our first boss. In Pro Sapphire's order. Welcome to Bootlegger Boogie, featuring Moonshine Mob. In there, you'll be fighting a spider.
Want a break from the ads?
One of his attacks is that he spawns these web bombs. If you go near them, they explode. He'll go to random levels from random directions. This is pretty annoying when you least expect it. Another attack is that he calls these minions, or should I say, thieves. They go in directions that are either left or right. The last attack of the boss is where the spider absolutely kicks the character, making her bounce. The second phase of the boss is kind of tricky. It's sort of like the first boss, but with like music. These notes would be spinning around throughout the whole phase of the boss. If they're yellow, they're gonna turn red. But when it turns red, you better be careful because those are gonna hit you. Barrels, police officers, and barrels that you can parry are just all over the place. Well, whatever the bug she is, just, in the middle dancing. This phase of the boss is literal confusion. You fight an anteater that sticks his tongue out in different directions. And his only attack is that he throws these bugs. The hardest part of the boss is that it gives you a fake knockout. After that comes the last part of the boss. It's a yellow snail trying to zap you with his megaphone. But some of those zappy thingies you can parry. You just defeated Moonshine Mob. You also got the distillery dough. Welcome to the King's Leap. In the King's Leap, you'll be fighting all of these bosses. By attacking them, you have to parry them, or use parries to attack them. Hail, ye Cups! I bid thee, welcome to my floating palace. I am the one true king, the king of games. From afar, I have seen you battle with zeal and aplomb. And lo, I grant thee a place in my royal tourney. In these bouts, your weapons and charms shan't be of use. You'll have to find different means to best my champions. From victories, riches, now into the fray with haste. Let's fight against the pawns. To attack them, you have to parry their heads. But when you parry their heads fall out. They will jump off the ceiling and run in either left or right. Oh my god! Oh jeez, oh my god! Once you parry all their heads, you just defeated the pawns. You dispatched that champion in so few rounds. Brave Cups, thy reward, wealth untold. Furthermore, I permit thee special entry to the next match. The next match is where you're fighting a knight, which is basically a horse. That's a knight. The way to attack him is by parrying his horsehair. One attack is that he dashes throughout the whole platform. Another attack is that he uses a sweeping attack, sort of like Minecraft. Wait a second. Uno reverse card. And the last attack is that he just hits you with a sword.
Boring!
Now on to our other boss. Welcome to High Noon Hoopla, featuring Esther Winchester. In there, you'll be fighting against the cow. One of her attacks is that she shoots snake oil, but the snake oil goes back and turns into actual snakes. There will be flying horses that will spit spikes, a vulture that drops the dynamite, The last one is that the cow grabs a rope and absolutely yanks the cactus. The next phase of the boss is pretty wild. The cow uses what I call a sucker, which sucks all the money in and will shoot out all the money out. The sucker choking out vaults, gold everywhere, and money that you can parry. The third phase of the boss is weird. The cow accidentally malfunctions the sucker, sucking her in, looking like complete nightmare fuel.
Look!
Her only attack in this phase is to spit out her own meat. Some of them you can parry. Bean cans up or down open up beans that can block you while you're flying. The last phase of the boss is where the cow throws herself in the can. This means that you'll be fighting against the can. One attack is that the can opens a hole, meaning that all the sausages come out. The sausages go up and down. While doing that, the cow will spit out peppers, but some of them you can parry. You've just defeated Esther Winchester. After defeating Esther Winchester, you got the recipe Desert Limes. Welcome back to another Kingsley. This time, you'll be fighting against the Bishop. The way this boss works is that you have to parry his 3 heads. But in order to do that, you have to blow out all the candles. The more candles there are, the faster he is. His one and only attack is that he spits out those metal balls that goes in your direction. You just defeated the Bishop. After that, you'll be fighting against the Rook. One of his attacks is that skulls or ghost heads that you can parry come out of his axe. That sounds kind of sus, but the way to attack him is to parry those heads. And the thing comes out, whatever that thing is. It's kind of hard to explain. You just defeated the Rook. There's one thing I forgot to mention. The king will give you 2 or 3 coins. Welcome to Doggone Dogfight, featuring the Howling Aces. In there, you'll be fighting against furries. The first phase of the boss is a pug. One of his attacks is that he'll throw these bones out of his tattoo. One of them you can parry. Another attack is that he tortures this cat, making it puke out yarn. While he does all that stuff, little puppies throw tennis balls. The next phase of the boss is not that hard though. You'll be fighting against 4 little puppies. They will float around with their jetpacks and spit out words out of their mouths. Some of them you can parry. The last phase of the boss is that you'll be fighting against the captain, and whatever the hell that is. In the beginning of this phase of the boss, the dog plane will shoot lasers at you 3 times, and the 3rd time, the laser is pink. The hard part of this boss is that it'll bring you upside down or sideways. This attack is from the captain herself. Since the screen is sideways
What the
or
dog
upside
doing?
down, she will mash those buttons, launching out dog water bowls. But remember, it will do this 2 times, meaning that the dog plane will shoot lasers at you again, and the captain will mash those buttons the 2nd time. Only if you do average damage. In the first phase of the boss, I forgot to talk about one thing. I'm way too lazy to explain it. You just defeated the Howling Aces. After you beat the Howling Aces, you got your recipe, Pineapple Mint. Since I'm not gonna go straight to Glumstone the Giant, why not add some memes?
Tragic events in history. Sonic's death. When jumping out of a plane, he forgot his parachute and fucking
Alright! My main goal is to blow up. You think I'm about to... I'm not watching this! Look!
Okay, I think that's enough. Welcome to No Way Out, featuring Glumstone the Giant. In there, you'll be fighting against a giant. Definitely not similar to Minecraft. No, one attack is that the giant opens his mouth. Inside of his mouth are gnomes, making something out of this really huge pot. What comes out of the pot are gas. Some of them you can parry. Another attack is that Glumstone brings a bear around half of the platform. Yeah, that's it. And the final one is when he calls out a bunch of bears. While he attacks you, gnomes attack you too. If you go on the floor, gnomes in their hats try to poke you. And one gnome goes on one of those thingies and try to hit you with a hammer. other gnomes pop out of the holes and they shoot out yellow sparkly thingies out of their hats. The next phase of the boss is that you're fighting against the puppets, controlled by Glumstone The Giant. The puppets are a replica of King Dice and the Devil. The attacks is that they throw a ball around. The other attack is that little gnomes come out of the floor, but some of them you can parry. The next phase of the boss is really disgusting. You'll be fighting against his stomach. One attack is that he'll spit out food onto the alligator. Once the alligator chomps the food, it'll go down. The only way to bring the skeleton gators back up to the surface is to parry the pink bells. Arrow thingy! You just defeated Glumstone the Giant. After you defeat Glumstone the Giant, you got the recipe, no berries. Welcome to the last King's League. This time, you'll be fighting against the Queen. One of her attacks is that she'll summon 3 lions, which you can parry. Another attack is that she will and another one that I don't even know how to explain. The way to attack her is to parry those cannons. However, the cannons will be moved by little mice. You just defeated the Queen. Welcome to Snow Cult Scuffle, featuring Mortimer Freeze. In there, you'll be fighting against Mortimer Freeze. One attack is that he uses a really huge whale that tries to crush you. Another attack is that he'll summon ice kisses, but that goes in different directions. What are you, the Joker? And another attack uses magic, which cards come out of that ball. Some of them you can parry. In the next phase of the boss, you'll be fighting against an Arctic boogeyman. One of this guy's attacks is that he turns into a fridge, releasing all the ice cubes out. But once the ice cubes crash, they minimize. Not just that, but he opens the freezer, releasing all the popsicles. Not all, but you know what I mean. Another attack is that the Arctic boogeyman smashes the ground, which swords come out of the floor. There's also one thing I forgot to mention. The flying popsicles fly down and back up. And the final attack is that he goes under, jumps over, and blah. In the final phase of the boss, you'll be fighting against the snowflake. One attack is that a hand comes out of his stomach, releasing buckets. Some of them you can parry. But when the buckets hit the side, they'll explode into little moons, going backwards. Another attack is that he pops his eye out. The eye will move around and zap both ways at the same time. There are 4 ice creams. One on the top, one on the bottom, one on the left, and one on the right. And they all just crash. You just defeated Mortimer Freeze. You got the last ingredient, icy sugar cubes. We did it! That was the last ingredient we needed for the Wonder Tart. Let's get back to Saltbaker. Lickety split. Welcome back, you Melsa brats. I didn't think you'd be back so soon. No matter. It's too late to stop me now. The Wonder Tart will be my finest work yet. A shame I never told you about the most important secret ingredient. A living soul! While you suckers were out doing my bidding, I nabbed your little friend here. Mugman! Miss Chalice! You gotta help me! But first, I'll take those ingredients, and then I'll use your heads as serving dishes. Welcome to A Dish to Die For, featuring Chef Saltbaker. In there, you'll be fighting against Chef Saltbaker. He'll be using the ingredients you collected to attack you. One attack is that he'll slice your desert limes, and they'll spin around like boomerangs. Another attack is that he'll use your distillery dough and turn it into gingerbread cookie animals, which will bounce really high. Another attack of him is that he squishes his box, releasing all of the gnome berries out, which comes falling from the sky. And the final attack is that he crushes this icy sugar cube, which turns into icy sugar cubes. Anyway, the icy sugar cubes will go around the map, but some of them you can parry. Throughout the 2 phases of the boss, a random fire will just be jumping around, trying to attack you. In the next phase of the boss, Chef Saltbaker puts a mushroom inside of his head and goes extremely enormous. One attack is that he throws leaves from the sky, which drops down. There are 4 peppers at each corner. How they attack you is that they sneeze out these thingies, but some of them you can parry. The way to attack Chef Saltbaker is to hit those peppers. And the next phase of Chef Saltbaker is up. Okay? In the last phase of the boss, you'll be fighting against his heart. The way this boss works is that you have to stand on one platform to another. The way to attack him is that you have to parry him and then hit him to do more damage. You just defeated Chef Saltbaker. Cuphead! Thank goodness you're okay! Gadzooks! This place is coming down! Let's get out of here! No! My bakery! Serves him right for dumping us. But with the bakery destroyed, you're never gonna get that Undertart chalice. That's okay. If some poor soul has to be sacrificed for me to live again, it just ain't worth it. But mark my words, boys. I'm never gonna stop searching. And in the meantime, if you ever find yourselves in a scrape, I'm just one cookie bite away. Besides, who needs a Wonder Turtle when they can have 2 new best pals instead? Even though the DLC took 4 years to make, it was still pretty good. And the secret boss. I'm not going to be explaining that.